We've got a very exciting day today. Today, we're freaking pouring the floor. It's gonna be awesome. Did want to show you guys, got the footings all in for the loft and the car lift, which is awesome. Guys are already showing up to pour, so just trying to get ready for them. This is awesome. Looks so good.
Ah, man. I'm even getting rusty. This thing is so cool.
Hey, Liam.
Hey, Josh.
What's going on, man?
Oh, man. I'm just sitting in the shop and looking at some engines. I was thinking about you.
Oh,
Yeah, how's your shop?
Dude, we just poured the concrete today and it looks awesome. They put a nice like glossy burn finish on it. It looks like a legit shop now. I am getting so excited to move into the new space.
Dude, that's awesome.
How was Easter Jeep Safari?
Oh, man. Easter Jeep Safari was so good this year. It was, in case anyone was wondering, it was the 60th anniversary of Easter Jeep Safari, which is crazy because that's not put on by Jeep. It's put on by a club. Like, they've been doing this for 60 years successfully. Yeah. Yeah. It's also 85 years of the Jeep brand. So that was a big deal. And they came out in force. I mean, Jeep had awesome displays. The club had extra things going on at the arena this year. We got to do a vintage ride, which followed the route of like the first run they did. So that was cool. Big moment for me as I got to drive Chris's Expedition Jeep on that run.
Oh, rad. Yeah, that's the Jeep that made it from like the tip of America to the tip of America, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the bottom to the top. And they went through that Darien Gap, the one that like no one goes through.
That's awesome. That's so cool that he's still keeping that thing around.
Yeah, even crazier was of the 5 Jeeps that went, 4 of them were at EJS this year.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was so cool to see them all there. And one of the guys that was on the trip as an 18-year-old kid, he was there to tell us all about it.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was just one of the few things, but that was one of the highlights to give you an idea of what EJS was kind of like.
Dude, did you bring the Commando down there?
Yeah, funny thing about that. I said I was looking at 2 engines when I called you, and one of them is the Commando engine.
Yeah.
And it's in pieces. So I don't think it made it out this year.
What happened there? I don't think the story got out on that.
Let me tell you, bud. That is one crazy ride, and you're right, the story never did get out, and that's actually why I'm calling you today. So, man, it would be like, what, almost 5 years ago or so, I got that thing, and I put the whole thing together, filmed all of it, and every weekend I wake up and I go, I'm gonna like edit this series, and it's gonna be so good, and everyone's gonna love it, and then every weekend something gets in my way, and I just can't do it. So the other day, I was looking at some old parts, and that always makes me think of you guys, and I remembered that your channel is all about taking this old rusty junk and making it awesome, getting it on the road. And that's what my series is about, but I haven't posted it yet and I need help editing. So, see where I'm going with some of this?
I see where you're going with this. Sounds like it could be a pretty cool collaboration.
That's where my head was at, because it has DPV written all over it. I love your channel. I think it's super awesome. And any way I can help out and get you guys content, and if you guys can help me out with the thing I can't seem to bring myself to do, just edit.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I probably better talk to my partner in crime, Alex, but I'm sure he would be on board. Yeah, and like, who doesn't like a Commando with a V8? Like, DPV followers, I think, would definitely like that. They've been wanting some AMC content. I actually have some people that are mad that I yanked the AMC out of my Wagoneer and swapped in a small block Chevy. So they would be thrilled to have an AMC on the channel again.
Well, despite the fact that I'm actually currently sitting next to an LS as I'm talking to you, behind me is the AMC 304 that was in the Commando and will be going back in it. And again, that's a whole other story as to why it's taken apart again. But before we tell that story, I think, like you said, we need to tell the original story of how that Commando got up and running. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it is AMC to the T. I mean, that thing is ridiculous. There's adapters on top of adapters from the factory. It's just, it's a pile in every loving sense. I love that Jeep.
Yeah, Jeep stands for just everybody else's parts, right?
Especially back then, man.
Well, cool. Yeah, let me talk to Alex, and I think we should get this thing rolling.
Dude, that would be so awesome. I can't wait to share this story with everybody.
Right on. Well, Liam, it is it's Taco Tuesday, and I think the tacos are about done. I think we better run up to dinner. But yeah, I think this is an awesome idea. Thanks for thinking of me.
Dude, thank you so much for willing to help out. I am, again, so excited to put this together.
Right on. All right, man. Well, we'll be talking then.
All right. Give those tacos a run for their money.
Okay. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye. Man, the concrete turned out awesome. Check it out. They did all the saw cuts yesterday. So concrete will always crack. So you want to tell it where to crack. Hopefully these saw cuts will take care of that. I'm pretty confident we got it compacted pretty good. I do know that the post hole concrete in this corner got a little high, so I may end up with an issue there at some point, but it should be covered with, lots of junk, so may not see it, but yeah, check it out. So much room for activities. Next, I'll be moving this stuff back into the shop area. Now that we've got a hard spot, I can get a scissor lift in here, and we got all kinds of bracing and stuff we got to put up in the trusses. Can finish putting all these 2x4s on because we're doing 12-foot spans on the posts. We needed a 2x stiffener for the wall. The plan's actually called for every other, but we're going to do every one because that'll be something that we can attach the insulation to and wall covering. So I will eventually put OSB on the inside here too, and we'll be able to paint that white, make it nice and bright in here, and it'll be stronger than sheetrock. We'll be able to, put hang up stuff anywhere and not have to use hollow wall anchors and stuff, so that'll be nice. Got a nice flat spot to build the doors now, so the slider project's gonna be a lot easier. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, big things happening. It's cruising now. I got some metal on the backside too, check this out. You can probably hear all these dang chickens. Well, one in particular, the rooster, he just likes to cock-a-doodle-doo all day. Yeah. Mason and I got some more house wrap on. It's got a few wrinkles, but it lays flat against the back of the metal. Then I did this metal by myself at the end of the day yesterday, and actually moved along pretty good. So this backside shouldn't take too long. The front side's a little more complicated, but the pieces are smaller, just because we got to do door track cover. I still got a little bit of wainscot to figure out. But yeah, it's coming along well. Now about this collaboration. Liam's an awesome guy. He's got some awesome content, and I really think that Commando project fits perfectly with Days of Painted Victory. I talked to Alex about it. He's on board. So we're gonna go forward with it. I've actually already got the first couple episodes of the Commando project edited, and they are pretty rad. I'm excited to see the rest of the content. So we're basically just gonna be, plugging about one episode a month on Liam's Commando, so you can check it out. And I'm excited to see where this leads in the future. Like I said, Liam's really cool. We hung out at SEMA. Him and I have been talking for like the last 5 or 6 years. Met through YouTube and have been wanting to make some sort of collaboration work, and finally something lined up that I think will be mutually beneficial for both channels and our audiences. So I hope you guys like it. Stay tuned for some really cool AMC content. I know that some of you were kind of mad that I swapped a small block Chevy into the Wagoneer, into the Big Chief. But here we go. Now we've got an AMC 304 build to check out, along with a whole bunch of other cool bits and pieces of this Commando build. We're hoping that at some point we can actually physically get together again and do some collaborations in person, which will be rad, maybe sometime in the fall. I can't promise anything, but we're gonna try to make it happen. He's gonna try to make it over here as well. Maybe we can do some wheeling on the property. Check out compressor trail, a few other, there's so many things we could do. And with this new space, we're gonna make some stuff happen. All right, let us know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Yeah, wheel it, wreck it.
Grab that real quick. Hey, a lot of you probably don't know who I am, and that's totally okay. I'm just Josh's friend. But let me introduce myself real quick, and because we're doing shop tours, let me give you a tour of my shop. So my name is Liam. I have a small YouTube channel called Jeep Sheep TV, where we do mostly Jeep things, but I also have this Acura and there's a Subaru back there, and those are the ones I'm working on right now for some dumb reason. But anyway, Jeep Sheep TV, I made my fame with a 94 Wrangler, which I supercharged. So you can go and watch some of that on my channel. Shop tour time. Behind me here is this LS, which is future video. That's the 304 for the Commando, which is gonna be featured in this series a lot. Whoops, stuff exploded. We've got door pockets for a Jeep Wrangler JL. We have early prototype YJL grills for a Jeep Wrangler JL. Pistons for the Commando. More engine parts. Turbo 400, the weird AMC bought an old casting version of the Turbo 400. You'll learn about that probably in that series. More engine parts. Scout axle, Mahindra axle, rooftop tent, Subaru workbench with more parts for a Jeep Wrangler JL. That is my logo right there. And give you this. That's my shop. So this is where I do my work. Let me show you the barn where the Jeeps and some other cool stuff live. There's a couple more cars that are unrelated. Actually, this one's on the channel, but unrelated and in my yard for some reason. I live in northern Wisconsin, and it is currently spring. It is absolutely gorgeous out. We're excited for winter to be over. We get sunlight for more than 5 minutes. This is the barn. Apparently we're not smoking in the barn. Okay, are you motion sick yet? That is a 1978? 76, 78? I'm gonna get flack for that. My buddy's gonna make fun of me for forgetting again, but that's an ambulance. Chevy G30 van front, ambulance box on the back. there is my 1994 Jeep Wrangler with the newly installed 8274 winch on the front, and I'll have videos on this coming up very soon on my channel. I popped the hood on the Jeep for you so you can see kind of my most successful venture to date. This is a M62. Ooh, am I forgetting my stuff? I think it's M62 Eaton supercharger out of an SLK 230 made by Mercedes, hence that. Mounted where the AC compressor would go on this AMC built 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder that you find in the Jeeps. AC compressor normally lives there. If you were optioned without it or you take it off, there's a bracket and you can mount a supercharger to that and it'll run off the factory serpentine belt. Just need to get a longer one. That then comes down through an intercooler, back up, and into the intake. Now I have this Y pipe here because it's a clutched supercharger. Check that out. Clutch. And so I have two paths, one naturally aspirated and one when the supercharger is on. So I can actually drive this like normal, day in, day out, and when I need to pass someone, I flip a switch on the dash and I have instant horsepower. It only makes about 3 pounds of boost, but the horsepower is very noticeable. Right there, I have a controller, little microcontroller inside an Altoids can, switch on top, turns on the supercharger, AFR gauge to make sure everything's running right. And you can kind of see a mess of wires in here. That's from a power commander out of a motorcycle, and that's how I'm adding enough fuel to compensate for the air. That's a Polaris General because they're cool. Dune buggy owned by not me, but my buddy who sometimes puts videos on the channel. That is a Corvair. Oh, you're going to want to see this. Corvair powered. That is the flat 6 and a Corvair in the back of a dune buggy. Look, more junk. Dana 44s out of a Wagoneer. A bicycle. Body kit for a Jeep Wrangler Renegade, the YJ Renegade, that god-awful body kit. Mint. Another body. Another LS. Bumpers. 4L60E. CJ rear seat. That goes in the Commando periodically. A very barn-looking barn. I got a light switch over here. Same guy that co-owns the ambulance and the dune buggy. Well, he owns dune buggy outright. Also owns snowmobile. This is the Commando. This is the guy we're talking about. But first, there's metal pieces of Jeep frame. Another Corvair flat 6. And my 1972 Jeep Commando, which you won't get a good view of because we're tucked up. Yeah, we're kind of just tucked in here right now. But there he is. That's where the Commando's living at this moment. So we got to get this back on the road. So that's the barn. In here, we have high ceilings and low standards.